As expected, the NBA All-Star Game last February 16, 2025 was dominated by the big sneaker brands. It was a tour de force for the household names with big events, even bigger drops, and unexpected reveals. You can say that it has become an NBA tradition. Well, sort of. So there's really not much of a variety. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it leaves much to be desired, at least for those of us who wish to see something different. Something that we don't always get to see because sometimes the hype just isn't worth watching, or maybe that's just me. So I decided to turn some of my attention to the NBA G League Up Next game. It's the G League's equivalent of the NBA All-Star game, and there were quite a few sneakers that came in as a surprise to me. Let me tell you about them. One shoe easily caught my attention. This is the shoe. The brand name of the shoe is, I suppose, largely inspired by Dragon Ball, the popular Japanese manga that became more famous worldwide in its anime version. The brand is called Senzu Bean, as in the magic beans in the anime that help revive characters. Cao Fang wore the shoe. Nicknamed Clutch Factor, Fang is a 33-year-old Chinese streetball legend from the XBA, which is a streetball league in China. He played in the G League Up Next game after he was invited. As for the shoe and the brand, little is known about Senzu Bean. It's a Chinese footwear company established in 2022, co-founded by Cao Fang himself. Senzu Bean dropped its first basketball shoe called Senzu Bean One Love last March 2023. Unlike the One Love, which had a crazy design concept, the shoe that Fang wore was more straightforward. It's a neon green low-top shoe that has a two-piece upper, an asymmetrical lacing setup, oblique plastic overlays to mimic the features of a bean, and a midsole with a ribbed surface. I'm not sure if the shoe will be releasing anytime, anywhere. And then there's Yuki Kawamura, a brand ambassador for Japanese footwear brand ASICS. During the G League Up Next game, Yuki wore a new colorway of the ASICS Unpray R Slow 2, the shoe that has been his go-to sneakers for the last couple of months. This time around, the colorway of the shoes that Yuki wore almost matches the colors of his jersey. It has a light blue upper with some highlights in shades of blue, along with silver accents and a black and gray outsole. It's not visually wild, quite like the other earlier colorways. No word yet if this all-star colorway will also release. Next up, we have Dink Pei. Dink is a Reebok athlete, and he wore the Reebok Engine in a player-exclusive colorway which is nicknamed Ignite, a nod to his G League team. The shoe is decked out in purple and violet colors with lightning imagery. I made a performance review about the Reebok Engine recently. I'll leave the link in the comments or description box just in case. But overall, the highlight of the shoe is its bouncy cushioning. We also have Lester Quinones, a brand ambassador for Serious Player Only. He wore a white pair of the SPO Player 1 Plus, which has Swarovski crystals at the heel counter. So outside of the NBA and the regular brands you often see during the All-Star games, there are sneakers that can perhaps tickle your fancy. Some of you might love them, some others might hate them, or probably others just don't mind. And of course, compared to the NBA, the G League doesn't have that much of a following. Brands are basically betting on these G League stars to hopefully make it to the NBA one day without ditching them to join a bigger brand. But whatever the case, at least for me, it's refreshing to see some sneakers that are not named Nike or Jordan Brand or Adidas. Not that those brands should not get airtime during All-Star games, because that's what they already have and more. Let me know what you think.